shop that sells laminated cash envelopes, budgeting tools, as well as stickers for planners. So what we're going to be doing today is our first November check-in and cash stuffing. I did a check-in midway between the first video and this video, but and you'll see where we landed with that and where we're landing on my goals. So let's get started. Let's take this and put this to the side. Okay, so a few of the bills that were estimated when we did the budget lay down in the beginning, and looking on our sheet here, have now come in, so I know where we stand. So over here, so on our fixed expenses, this is kind of how it's rolling out right now. So mortgage was the same. Now you will see this go up next month when I took a look at our escrow statement and our taxes that just came out. We're going to be a little short of making that extra payment. So I had to increase our mortgage payment starting in December $100. So I'll now pay $162 towards principal above and beyond the payment, and that will make sure that that extra payment on the principal happens for the year. AT&T came in a little bit less, $2 less. CenturyLink came in $1 more. Water and trash, I had budgeted $125, it came in at $146, which is interesting because it's been $125 for the last 3 months. So it was $19 more than I had anticipated. The good news though is electric, I had budgeted $300 and it came in at $179. So that was an upside of $121, which is super exciting. Life insurance was the same. Auto insurance will be the same. It hasn't come out yet. Natural gas, where we've been running at $21 this month, is $27. Now I think it's because it's finally cooled down a little bit in Arizona, so we're probably using a little bit hotter water. Our water heater is natural gas. I'm assuming that's what it is, but it was a little bit higher than it's been, and that was a downside of $6. My subscriptions all came in at the same. And then medical copays, I haven't used it. I'm going to the dentist tomorrow, but I normally don't have a copay with that. Clothing came in high, but that's been a virtual envelope for me, meaning that I don't take it out. I leave it in the account, and then if I need it, then it's there. I do Stitch Fix, so I did get a box that I did purchase 2 things out of the box. So I had budgeted $130, I spent $156, so I took $28 out of the prior month. So it's okay because I still had that money in there, but it did come out of my account. And then side hustle was $236. I'm going to show you what I've spent so far for that, because that has been a category that I keep going over in and going out to dinner as well. Okay. So when we look at the first weekly check-in, I did pretty good as far as staying within my budget. So what we have left, I'm going to show you what's still in my envelopes from the first 2 weeks, and then where I am on my budget and what we're going to be adding to the envelopes for the next 2 weeks. So I stuff envelopes twice a month, at the beginning of the month and then mid-month, and then before the next month begins, I'll stuff for the following month. So I'm always kind of a little bit ahead, just so that I'm not having to get paid, hurry home, stuff the envelopes, and maybe spend money in the meantime. So we'll talk about that in a moment. So for transactions though, I did want to go back to this page. So these are all the transactions that are going to hit my Capital One card, and then I pay that off at the end of the month. So AT&T, CenturyLink, Elements, Ali Edwards, which is a subscription service, Audible, Internet, clothing, and then HelloFresh. I did order for next week, so that came out of my grocery, but it does bill to the Capital One card. So that's my running total, so I know. So I've tentatively penciled in $1,000 that I will have taken out of my budget that will pay this off. That might be a little high because I really haven't used it for anything else. For my side hustle, I put this here, but it really came out of my checking account. So I'm trying not to put anything on the card, but I used my allowance money and then put the money back into the account to pay for that. So I just wanted to go ahead and pay that. Okay, So when you look at the spread here, so anything in yellow is a fixed expense. I write in, first of all, with an erasable pen, what I think it's going to be. And then I erase that and put the actual money, the actual dollar amount in. If it is this purple, that's an income. So, so AT&T is paid, my mortgage is paid, my one daughter sent me her money, my other daughter sent her money. They're very good about that. I paid $1,500 on my Barclay, so I have $1,200 left to pay next month. Netflix has come out. Apple has come out. CenturyLink is out. Elements will come out tomorrow. Ali Edwards tomorrow. I already have my expense check. It was really fast this month. Chase comes out on the 21st, car insurance on the 21st, and the natural gas bill comes in on the 21st, and then water and electric comes out on the 17th. So they're already put into my check register, so I know exactly what's coming out of the next check and what the dollar amount is. Internet will bill on the 27th, Audible on the 29th, and then life insurance comes out on the 30th. At the last day of the month, or when I get paid, so we'll both get paid again on the 29th, then I will take everything for my sinking fund and move it into my sinking funds. And the reason why I do that at the end of the month, because if I've estimated, let's say for gifts, I've estimated $750 because I'm going to try to do most of my Christmas shopping on Black Friday. So whatever I don't spend out of that will go into the fund for the following month. So if I put it in the beginning of the month, then I'm just going to be taking it out, moving it back out, and then moving it back in. So I just keep it in the account. At the end of the month, I just kind of even everything out. Whatever is left, I throw into the account, I transfer it in, and then anything that, if there's nothing left, there's nothing left, but that normally doesn't happen. The other thing too about sinking funds is I belong to a credit union, so I can take my savings account and move it into what they call savings goals. And then when you go to deposit the money, you just pick that savings goal and the money goes in there. So when you look at it on the app, it just looks like one savings account. But then when you go into the savings goals section, it separates it out. So you determine what your goal is going to be, and then it will tell you where you are to your goal. You put a date in that you want to make that goal. Now, one of the things I found happens with this is that once you reach your goal, so say for an example, I put bills, my goal was $200. Once I hit 200, it would automatically put it into another fund. So I had to raise all my goals so that when I was putting it there, it would stay in the account that I wanted it to be in versus the bank just kind of moving it into another goal because I had met that one goal. So I hope that makes sense. I know a lot of people use Capital 360. I just, you know, I'm all about simplicity. The least amount of times I need to transfer money in and out is just easier for me. But I do see that would be super valid if you were one that would spend out of those accounts. But I kind of just forget that they're there so that if they're there when I need them. Okay, so that's kind of where the month is looking so far. We're pretty much staying on track. And then let's look at what we currently have in cash envelopes. Okay, so my allowance is $0, but I do have $20 in my wallet right now that I just kind of threw in there. So I do have $20 left for allowance. Recreation, I have $40. And what I did with recreation is I put in $50 and then $40 for entertainment. Actually, recreation was $40, entertainment was $100. I left $50 in the account, and then I took $50 and put it in here. So what I have left of the $90 I started with is $40. And that all went to Joanne, so there you go. I'm going to take what money is left in my envelopes and put it to the side because one of my savings goals this month was anything left in my envelopes when I go to stuff goes into a savings account for December. Now, December, not meaning gifts, but everything that December has to do. If I want to go to a play, if we like to go to Christmas musicals, if we want to go see lights and stop for a hot chocolate, whatever it might be that's associated with the holiday, but not necessarily a gift for the holiday, if that makes sense. So kind of the entertainment value around the holidays. Personal care, I think I have 25 left. So I did get a massage this week, and I tipped her 25. I started with 50 and I have 25 left. I'm gonna put that there. I don't really have anything else that I need to do for this month. So my brows have been done, my hair is colored, so pretty much I can take that money out. Eating out, so I have $16 left in eating out. I did put 40 in last Friday when I went through and replenished the envelopes. So I have $16 left, and I have $100 left in the budget. So eating out goes there. Groceries, I started with 250 for my envelopes, and then I leave 250 in the account. I did HelloFresh once, so that was 61. And then I'll put the rest in cash in the envelope. So in eating out, I have, I'm sorry, in groceries, I have $33. They're pretty good. Giving, I have nothing because I gave it. So let's see what we have left that we can put away for December. This has really been kind of the easier way for me to save than it was just to like put it out there in the beginning, because I just tried to do it on a daily basis instead of at the beginning of the month. So we have 80, 90, 100, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 109. So that will go into my December fund. Okay, so when we look at cash stuffing for this week, where is my... So this is my note that I took to the bank. So for giving, it's $200. Groceries, I have 187, I believe it is. Eating out gets 100. Allowance gets 100. Household gets 110. So it was a total of $697. So in the beginning of the month, I completely funded personal care, entertainment. I went ahead and left the rest of the money in the account, and that way if I wanted to go do something, then the money is there. I don't have to put the money back. I will avoid going back to the bank like it is a job. So I try never to have to go back and put money back into my account. Sometimes you have to, but I try not to. Okay, so this is what we did. So let's go ahead and get started. And I also round up. I don't know if you noticed that on my bills and on my things. I always round up. I never want to deal with change in here, just because it makes the math so much harder. Okay. So the first one we're going to do is groceries. We're going to put in 187. And I didn't grab any 50s this time. And the bank had very few 10s. I don't know what people have. So 187 is going to go. Okay, it's gonna be one of these kind of days today. Goes into groceries. So that will be it for the month. Now out of this 187 needs to come out Thanksgiving. So we are going to kind of do it like a potluck, so I don't have the responsibility of the whole meal. So my part, I estimated $50. Could be a little high, could be a little low, but I'm really watching this fund just so that I can make sure I take Thanksgiving out of this fund. Again, another idea that I think is really smart is separate envelopes for holidays. I just really try to have as few of envelopes as possible just because my binder gets super heavy, but that's a great idea if that helps you to budget. So you would put whatever you're going to spend for Thanksgiving into a separate fund so it wouldn't come out of your grocery whatever's easier for you, obviously. So giving, we're gonna put 200 in. So we'll have 200, and that will be it for the month. Okay, so for eating out, it's going to be 100, and I like to put 20s in. So I'll put 60 in now. And I will put 40 in my envelope. So if you've watched my videos before, you know that I cannot be trusted with putting everything in at one time. I will spend it all. I just went to the grocery store, so there really is no reason for me to go out. I took that 40 out, so it's really gonna have 60. And then I'll take my eating out tab. These are, I think it's called A Time for Everything. And the balance, which is 40, goes behind here. So what I will do next Friday is I will take the money from the tab and put it into my envelope. And that way I can only spend what's in there. So I kind of divide it in half. So 40 goes over here. And then for, put that back in there. Where's my envelope? Just put this back in. Alrighty then, so this is the way it's gonna be today. Okay, so the next one that we have is household, and that gets 110. And that stays at home. It does not have an envelope. And then this is my allowance. So what I do is I give myself $50 a week. I don't necessarily track it. I just put it in my wallet. Sometimes I keep it in my envelope if I'm traveling around with this, which I have been traveling, but I take my envelopes out when I travel so that the money is home if my husband needs to go to the grocery store or someone's coming and he needs money for something, so the envelopes stay home. They don't go with me. And so $50 a week, so 50 will go into my envelope. And 50 goes under my tab for allowance, and that stays home. And then next Friday, I'll put the $50 into my wallet or into the envelope, depending on what I'm doing. Personal care is done for the month, so I'm just gonna put this to the side, and I don't need that one right now. So those are the envelopes. I'm gonna put them back in here. And just a couple questions that I have that have come up, I need to put these in my transactions, is I do keep a check register. I do write what check every bill is going to come out of, so that I know, so there's no surprises. And then I highlight it in my checking account once that bill has been paid and cleared, and I don't need to worry about it. That way I know exactly which check everything is coming out of and what's cleared and what is still pending. It's a system that works well for me, I don't know. Okay, so I want to go back to the first page where we set kind of up some goals. So one of my goals was 10 no spend days, and I had 4, and that's because I was traveling. So I have an expense account, so I didn't take any of my personal money and spend it. I of course had to spend money, but I didn't count it as a no spend day. I counted it as a no spend day because I wasn't counting my money. I was traveling, so of course I had to eat and stuff like that. So the days that I had as a no spend day, these are from Caffeinated Kate. I am working on my own no spend stickers, but I have not found the exact format that I am happy with yet. So I had 3 no spend days, probably because I was traveling and had no opportunity to spend any money. And then on the Friday before, Friday the 8th, I also had a no spend day. So my goal was to have 10. So far I have 4. So my plan is during the week to just stay home. So don't go to Starbucks. I already have groceries in the house. So anything that I would go to spend, stay away from Joann's, places like that. So I am trying really hard to make that goal. So I have 4 out of my 10 so far. Have money left over. I think it was 107 that we had left over. So that was great. Staying on budget. I've stayed on budget really tight this month. Be intentional with my spending. So this month, for the first time that I can ever think of, I've actually used coupons for going out. So if we're going to, you know, Arby's, I just went ahead and pulled coupons. It's amazing how much you can save and how much farther your money goes if you do that. It's not something I normally do because I just figure if there's money in my envelope, then I can go out. If there's no money, then you stay home. But I think one of my goals is to be more intentional. So I could maybe go out more times in the month if I'm more intentional about the money. So that was one of my goals. For my variable income and my business expenses, I have 4. I'm just looking at this over here. Okay, so we had Creative Cloud, which is new for us, and that was $32. We have Canva, and that was $13, and that's a monthly subscription. I went to IKEA and got containers because we have product and I wanted it organized, and so we got containers that I could stack, and it's so much more organized. I can find things really quickly. That was a little bit more. That was $105. I went to Staples to get, it's a, what do you call it? It's like the ARC system. My planner for, that I do for my personal life is a happy planner. So I needed some supplies for that, and I needed some paper. So that was $20. And that is all I spent. So that's all I've spent so far, which is much better. My budget was $235, so I'm right on track. Now, if I decide to order the Erin Condren December or winter surprise box, which I kind of heard mixed reviews about, they're not allowed to show it, I guess, to keep up the excitement about the box. So I really don't need it. I'm going to try to talk myself out of it. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so that's where we are with the goals. I will fill out this part towards the end of the month when I kind of do a look back to say what worked, what didn't work, what do I need to work on. Everything on here is filled out and color coded, so we know what that is. So let's just go back and just finish out. So I put 187 in my grocery envelope. For eating out, I put 100. Giving was 200. Household, 110. Remember, that's over here. Entertainment is really 50, and that's still in the account. So I did not put it in the envelope. I left it in the account. Grooming, $5 I put into our overage, and I have nothing left for recreation. So that's where our envelopes are right now. And then this will need to, oh, I almost forgot my allowance. How did I forget my allowance? That's $100. Okay, so 50 for this week and 50 for next week. Then I'll fill in what I spent and then what's remaining, and that will come into the next week. So on Friday the 22nd, I'll sit down and just kind of review where I'm at, look at what's in my envelopes, add the money from the tabs that is ready to go into the envelopes, and then at the end of the month, I'll do a recap. So I don't always film my end of month recap because I'm already filming the next month, but if you want to see that, let me know. And basically it's just an counting of everything that's come in and out. So from income to expenses and what I have remaining at the end of the month. So that's kind of where that that program is. Now, my husband and I may go to Disneyland next week. So that will come out of our vacation sinking fund, because we had been saving to go to Europe and then that trip got canceled, so we just left the money in the account. He also had some extra work, so he wants to go, and I'm like, okay, you did an extra job, you get the extra work, we could go. So I don't know for sure if we're gonna go, but I'll let you know how we budget for that. We can travel pretty frugally. So we'll usually stay in a place that we can either cook or at least have food, so we're not having to go out 3 times a day. We also will bring food from home, so it's the food on the trip there and in the park and everything that adds up pretty quickly. The hotel, we got a really great rate because we called around and got a corporate rate, so it's really not bad at all. In fact, I don't think we've ever spent this little for a hotel room. So it's kind of in a weird time because it's before Thanksgiving, but it's not the week of Thanksgiving, and it's definitely before Christmas. So the park's probably a little bit quieter, so that's probably why we're gonna get a little bit better rate. And then what will be the biggest expense of the trip will be the tickets into the park. So we haven't finalized everything, but that would be great if we can go. So I won't film next week, but I will film at the end of the month, and I'll film in the new month. I'll film December, but then I will also do a quick recap of November if you would like to see that. So that is it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions, and if you enjoy the videos, please subscribe and hit the bell so that you'll know when we have a video that has been posted. We are very close to having my daughter start her videos, which will be more about digital planning, digital budgeting, as well as Procreate. She's super creative. She's got a lot of things happening right now that she's going to be adding to the shop, as well as we've added more kits and stickers, script stickers, and things like that to the shop. So we appreciate your time and watching. Thank you so much.